A very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 6 July 2025. So, 2025 Sunday class. We will be continuing our sharing from this book. The Heart Sutra, second edition. Okay, we are at page 145. As usual, we will have our physical puja. Then after that, we will commence our sharing. Let us compose our mind, develop the saddha, virya. Then mindfully we shall commence the physical puja. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛。南无药师佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสุขโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอาทินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาดทานะเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, let's pay respect triple jam. Bedang pujemi. Dhammang pujemi. Sanghang pujemi. invocation to the Devas in this universe in their entirety. Let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakavalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhammasarti satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pacyatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, we turn to page 145 and we'll continue from where we stop. Heart Sutra 26 part 2. We are at this section 2.1. There is a definition regarding this mental formation. In fact, mental formation is just one of the English translation of the word Sankhara. Sankhara has many meanings. So according to the teaching, when the Buddha spoke, he used this word Sankhara a lot. That's why when he comes to the three type of universal characteristic proclamation, he always proclaims Sabbe Sankhara Anicca, then Sabbe Sankhara Dukkha. But when it comes to the third one, which is Anatta, he says Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. So this one I think we have to pay some attention so that we can understand. As I've explained before, Sankhara refer to the conditioned world's mind state. That's why everything that your mind can do is Sankhara. The English word, they have many words. Some use mental formation, then some use mental activities. Everything that your mind do, the mental activity, the mental thinking, the mental intention, the mental states, your various type of mind state, whether it's peaceful, tranquil, agitated, with fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation, or even phobia or whatever. These are all the mind states that are possible. Then even your cunningness, your deceitfulness, they are all part of Sankhara. So here in the Xianhua's translation, they use this word mental formation to represent these aggregates of mind. In fact, under the teaching, the 5 aggregates of form and mind, the Buddha subdivide our human being or the living being into 2 parts. Initially is the form, which is the physical form or mental form. Then he subdivided the mind into 4 more aggregates. And to understand this, we have to ask ourselves or inquire, what can our mind do? And then you will understand why the Buddha break it down into 4. First, as we all know, our mind can feel. It can develop the ability to feel hot and cold, pleasant and unpleasant feeling. So this aggregates of feeling is one of the aggregates of mind. A quality that the mundane mind or the thinking mind can manifest. That's why it's part of mind. So the Buddha subdivide that as the first aggregate. Then our mind can also perceive things. He subdivided into perception. So perception is another ability of the mind. You can perceive what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactily feel and think. So perception in Pali is called sanya. So sanya is the second aggregate of the mind, mental part. But both this feeling and perception, or Vedana and Sanya, they are part of Sankhara, because whatever the mind can do is Sankhara. So here we have to understand why the Buddha break it up into feeling and perception instead of calling it all Sankhara. Because in the teaching, these 2 aggregates of mind play a very important role. When it comes to feeling, under Vedana Nupassana teaching, the second foundation of the 4 foundation of mindfulness, Vedana Nupassana, means we develop mindfulness of feeling. And in the teaching is mentioned, if we maintain mindfulness, we can be aware. Then when we are mindful, when that feeling has become pleasant or unpleasant feeling, we must develop awareness. So this pleasant and unpleasant feeling are the 2 mind states that generates duality of like and dislike. So pleasant and unpleasant is a reaction of mind already. So the feeling has been conditioned into, from pure feeling into conditioned feeling, of pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. And both of these are mental hindrance, which are sensual desire and ill will. Pleasant feeling you cling. That's why we call it sensual desire. The unpleasant feeling we want to push away. That's why we call it ill will. So sensual desire and ill will are the first two mental hindrances. So if throughout the day when you live your life, you continuously arise this like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience at every moment of sense door consciousness. When you arise the seeing consciousness, then immediately you stir your mind, you react to what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you technically feel and think. If you do that, what happens? You create mental hindrance. And this mental hindrance will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness and inner awareness. That's why living beings, they find it very difficult to meditate. Because this stirring of the mind or reaction of mind at every moment of sense experience that has become a habit, we call it habitual tendency, generate this mental hindrance. If throughout the day, almost every moment of sense experience, you do that, then how can your mind be peaceful, be calm? How can you enter the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness and inner awareness? That's why you must see this, understand this. Then silence your mind, relax and maintain awareness. Then through that pure awareness, investigate and find out, why did you do that? Why did you stir your mind to react to all this sense experience? Why can't you develop the wisdom to see things as they are, as taught by the Buddha, to come to terms with the reality, to accept what is the reality within the moment? So all this is Dhamma cultivation, Dhamma contemplation, reflection, and also meditation. So that is the reason why feeling as an area of mind is being added. And perception is the one that brings the external form into the mind. Through your mental perception, you bring the external material form into the mind. And when the form enters the mind together with the mental rupa or mental form also has the 5 aggregate of form and mind. And that one is your thought. That is your second aspect of your 5 aggregate of form and mind. Then the third aggregate of mind is sankhara. Sankhara is everything that your mind can do. That's why it includes all your mental formation, your mental activity, your mental thinking, your mental states, and even all of your mind state that you have arise. Cunningness is a mind state. Selfishness is also a mind state. Anger, hatred, violence, insecurity, phobia, they are all your mind states. That's why according to the teaching, the higher teaching, Abhidhamma, they say mental states, there are 52. including feeling and perception. If you minus these two, then there is only 50. So everything that your mind can do, including all your mental states, your feeling and your perception, are sankhara. That's why sankhara is the mundane mind, the thinking mind. All the activity that arises through that thinking mind, the mundane mind, from the pure awareness nature, through delusion, through avijja, the mind stirs and create the movement. That's why all this movement is called the mental movement or psychological thinking, mental time. When this mental thinking or mental time arises, all things arise. The Buddha called this mundane mind the mano. That's why he said this mind is the forerunner of all things. When this mind arises, all things arise. Right and wrong, good and bad, all duality, all creation, they arise. That's why sankhara is a very, very powerful aggregate. And it has to be understood to develop the profound understanding of the Buddhist teaching, to understand clearly what Dhamma is. Then when you penetrate sankhara, then through your silent mind's observation, pure awareness observation, you start to see clearly why the Buddha says, Sabbe sankhara anicca. All of your mental thinking anicca. Is anicca. It's impermanent, where they are dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of phenomenon. They come and they go. And because of that, it is impermanent. That's why sabbe is all. Sankhara is all your mind states, mental activity, mental formation, everything that your mind can do. They are impermanent. Sabbe sankhara anicca. It's not a permanent and changing entity. Then sabbe sankhara dukkha. All of the sankhara, no matter how you move it, you create it or let it arise, it will lead to suffering. Why? Because this is the universal characteristics of all phenomena. They are not real, not you, not what you think. Finally, it will bring about suffering. Because when there is sakayaditi, self-delusion, it will cling, it will grasp, and it will react and stir and create the mental suffering, followed by the physical deterioration. So mental and physical suffering, they are related, they are connected. So you will see clearly through your silent inner awareness why all sankhara are impermanent, why all sankhara lead to suffering. Then the third stanza is sabbe dhamma. He don't use the word sankhara. The reason being, when it comes to anatta, the empty nature or non-self nature, not a permanent, unchanging entity nature, it not only covers the conditioned Dhamma, it also covers the unconditioned Dhamma. That's why he used the word Dhamma, which includes the conditioned Dhamma and the unconditioned Dhamma. Means whether it's the conditioned world's manifestation or within the unconditioned world, they are both anatta. That's why all Dhamma, whether conditioned or unconditioned Dhamma, they are anatta. Anatta means not a permanent, unchanging entity, not what you think. And because it's not a permanent, unchanging entity, you cannot cling onto it, grasp onto it, hold on to say and say, this is me, this is I. Therefore I can own all these things, all these are mine. There is delusion, sakkayaditthi. There is no such thing. Yeah. So when you penetrate that, then you realize all of sankhara, the thinking, the mental states, the mental formation, they are dependent, originating, condition, arising, causal phenomena. They come and they go. And there is no permanent, unchanging entity. That's why he no you, he no me. It becomes very clear. Then after that you realize everything is not what you think. Condition like that, things be like that. Then whether you think or you don't think, it's not going to make any difference. Because the universe is going to move that direction. And all these are empty. That's why finally we will come to the understanding, empty nature of existence. Existence may be like very real to the living beings. They cling on to the form and mind. They identify with the form and mind. They perceive and give meaning to everything that they are able to perceive and hold on to, cling on to, grasp on to. But all these are manifestations of mind, images. As real it can be, it's only an image. How real can it be? And the moment it passes away, it ceases to be. That's why everything is not what you think. Moment to moment, life passes by. What are you doing? And the past is already gone, no more reality. Future, yet to come, also no more reality. If that is the case, then the only reality within life is only the present moment. And the present moment arises and passes away. Split second is dead and gone. Split second is dead and gone. So how real can life be? But there is the only reality, the present moment. And how stable is the present moment? It's so transient. Split second, gone. Split second, gone. And all of creation, or what we call existence, they are mind-made. When there is no mind to give meaning, to hold on to, then nothing really exists. That's why he know you, he know me. No one born, no one die, no one sick, no one old. Those who meditate with the pure awareness nature and they can see this clearly, they will awaken. Then their mind transforms. The mundane mind realizes itself and ceases. And that's how they realize the unconditioned cessation of form and mind, leading to the realization of Nibbana, which is the unconditioned. So this part is very important. Okay, now I read this definition, then you will understand. Mental formation or sankhara, or mental activity, which is everything that your mind can do. That is the definition. The impermanent is a universal characteristic which defines clearly the prevalence of suffering, the prevalence of impermanence. So all this, if you are mindful in that way, you can come to a clear understanding. So impermanence is a universal characteristic, prevalence in all phenomena. See clearly how phenomena arise and pass away, come and go. Okay, I read again. See clearly how phenomena come and how it goes. How they arise and they pass away, their birth and death, their rise and fall, etc. Finally, we will come to understand all condition arising Dhamma are impermanent, because dependent on condition they arise. When causes and conditions cease to be, they cease to be. So there is no reality. Because it's impermanent. It's not a permanent, unchanging entity. And they do not have a permanent, unchanging entity of its own. Hence they cannot be owned or cannot be held onto as the I and the me. Our fundamental nature is the oneness or the Buddha nature. So this one, go back to the source, the true nature, the original nature, the oneness nature. From there, all creation starts. All being, in fact, come from that oneness. The oneness is the nature, the source of all things. From there, all things manifest. That's why it cannot be owned by anybody. It's anatta. It is not your true nature. So all this understanding demands pure awareness-based cultivation, the realization of that supreme teaching within that nature. So that part, I think we have explained, hopefully, is a lot more clearer now. Now we move on to 2.2, saying by our most venerable master, Guangqing Lao Hesang. So Guangqing Lao Hesang is a very famous Mahayana Zen master. He always expressed his understanding into these 3 stanzas, which he had realized. So what he mentioned is very profound, so you have to listen. In Mandarin, he said, 过去心不可得. The meaning is very deep, very profound. Its meaning is the mind of the past, 过去心, cannot be grasped onto, because it's already gone. Past is already gone. No more reality. So this so-called past is not a reality. It's already gone. Then 未来心也是不可得. He said the mind of the future also cannot be grasped onto, but it has yet to come. It hasn't happened yet. How can it be real? There is no reality. So also not a reality. So the past is already gone. No more reality within the moment. Future yet to come. Also no more reality within the moment. Then the third stanza is the most amazing one. He says, 现在心也不可得. The mind of the present moment, which is the only reality and highest in life. But to transcend life, we have to transcend even the present moment, which is still within the field of thought. Hence the reason why he said the mind of the present moment also cannot be grasped onto, because it is so transient and so unstable. Split second is there and gone. Split second is there and gone. That's why the present moment is so transient. See it, and there is the only reality, highest in life, but it's so transient. So how real can life be? That's why after that I came out with the understanding under the notes, and I moved it up. I wrote here, this is my famous stanza. Then I came up after 1989, after I realized all this. I always say, moment to moment life passes by. What are you doing? Are you truly living life? Or are you too busy thinking, planning, and worrying about life? So much so that you totally miss out on life. That is, you never get to truly live life. In fact, you have wasted your life. If you can be with the moment, to be with the moment in silent awareness within, to feel and to experience the reality of the moment, including all of its wonders and beauties of life, is to truly live life. So can you be from moment to moment, truly be with the moment, to live life, not lost in thought, not heedless, not creating conflict, duality, clinging, grasping, no mundane activity in mind to hold on to all the phenomenal world of consciousness through delusion, through sakkaya, through avijja. So that is the deep meaning of existence and life. So when you have mindfulness to see all this and to understand all this, then you start to understand life. That's why to understand life, we have to understand all phenomena. Realize these universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Then also realize this cessation of form and mind, leading to the realization of nibbana, which is unconditioned. So when you understand both the conditioned Dhamma and the unconditioned Dhamma, then you go beyond life. You can live life. Then life becomes meaningful, wonderful. That's why to realize the conditioned Dhamma and the unconditioned Dhamma is to realize true emptiness. He know you, he know me. Everything is unreal, not what you think. Mind make a day just manifestation of consciousness and its content. That's why that word, mind make a day, is very important. 一切唯心造 means everything that manifests within the conditioned world, they are created by the mind. Mind make a day. And that penetrative understanding is very important. When you see that, you awaken. Okay, we finish part 2. Huh? Then we go on to part 3. Huh? Okay, there is a question by somebody at that time. Huh? The question is, what is the difference between contemplation and thinking? I think many practitioners of the Dhamma always ask this question because they cannot understand what is the meaning and what is the difference. When it comes to contemplation, there are certain things or requirement that is required for one to contemplate. Otherwise, one is heedlessly lost in thought, thinking. So the heedless thinking, the what they call insistent, active thinking, that is not contemplation. That is the mind is clouded, deluded, think a lot. It can actually end up in depressive thought process, like the depressed people, those with depression, mental problem. They think a lot. They keep on get caught in the cocoon of thought. It's like the thought cocoon them, because they have been possessed by the thought. The thought has taken over their ability to understand. So it creates a very strong movement that leads to depressive thinking. That depressive thinking can trigger off suicidal thought, mental suffering, intense mental suffering, that can trigger suicidal thought, paralysis of thinking, the breakdown and all those things. And it can be very, very dreadful and traumatic in its manifestation. That's why now they have trauma division in the hospital where they try to help and heal people who go through traumas, traumatic mind state. Okay, now I will explain what's the difference. From this explanation, hopefully, you all can develop better understanding. To contemplate on the Dhamma spoken by the Buddha is to reflect, and inquire deep into the proclamation of the truth that he has given under his first turning of the first, second, third and fourth Noble Truth. So first turning of the Four Noble Truth, they got first Noble Truth, second Noble Truth, third Noble Truth and fourth Noble Truth. So in the first turning, he just proclaimed the truth. Then for us to inquire and contemplate into what the Buddha has spoken, we have to contemplate. We have to develop the understanding. Means we have to throw out the inquiry to contemplate. Take for example the first Noble Truth of dukkha. In the first Noble Truth, the Buddha says, there is this Noble Truth of dukkha that explains to us the prevalence of suffering. Suffering is everywhere in the midst of life and existence. You don't have the Dhamma understanding. And one other thing that triggers this suffering, he said, these are realities of life and existence that manifest within life, within existence. And when you confront this reality, which is the reality of birth and death, means the eight reality that we have gone through: birth, old age, sickness and death, separation from people whom you don't like, or separation from your prized possession, the thing that you hold on to dearly, your loved ones, etc. Then separation, separation from whatever you think you own, your title, all those things. Then when you cannot get what you want, then there is also the other one, when you are with people whom you don't like. It will trigger suffering. Then the final summary is when you deludedly grasp and cling onto the five aggregate of form and mind, thinking that it's you, is real, is a permanent unchanging entity, then it will trigger suffering. So the inquiry is, you should inquire and contemplate. Why did the Buddha say birth is suffering? Old age, sickness and death is suffering. That's why you throw out this inquiry. Then from the inquiry, you contemplate via recalling through the mind, or what we call, we recollect through memory what happened during the birth process, what happened during the old age, disease, injury and sickness process, what happened during the death process. So all this inquiry, as you recollect, that at one point, suddenly it will dawn upon you that birth is really suffering. Old age, sickness and death is really suffering. separation, etc. is really suffering. So all this born of contemplation and inquiry. So I read on that you will understand further. This contemplative wisdom is called Chintamaya Panya. It's part of the second turning of the Four Noble Truths, wisdom. So when you contemplate and reflect and inquire deep into the first turning, you develop second turning wisdom, which is more stable. So to develop this contemplation, you listen, one must have a calm and composed mind that has the spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Sati and Samadhi in its creative state. So this calm and composed mind need the spiritual faculty of Saddha. When you have faith, your mind becomes composed, calm, because the faith is there. When there is faith, there cannot be fear, there cannot be doubt. The fear makes you composed and calm. Then there must be sati. Sati means without thought, with a true pure awareness nature. When you are without thought, there is no stirring of the mind, reaction of the mind, no wrong thought, wrong mental states. So your mind becomes tranquil, peaceful, composed. Then with samadhi, it becomes stable. That is a heedful mind, able to see things as they are, able to develop the cultivation of the Noble Eightfold Path, leading to all the wisdom. That's why ever mindful, constantly meditative. Yeah. So I read again. To develop this contemplative wisdom or contemplation, one must have a calm and composed mind with the spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Sati and Samadhi in a creative state to inquire and reflect deep into the second turning's hidden meaning. So you do that, you are doing the second turning contemplative wisdom. Then reflection and contemplation is a form of inquiry and investigation with the creative mind in sati. Creative means the mind is peaceful, calm and composed. Not heedless, not agitated, not with fear, worry, anxiety. That one is not the creative mind. That one is a restless mind that thinks a lot, worry a lot. The creative mind is very calm, very composed, very creative. Is in the state of creativity. Then I explain, there is some form of slight creative thinking, but not the active thinking, to bring about a better understanding of what has been heard under the first turning of the Four Noble Truths, followed by the assimilation of it to stabilize one's understanding. Just like a talented musician or a talented poet or a person, when are they most creative? When they are in a tranquil setting, a very tranquil and conducive setting, to reflect and contemplate on their talent. Their mind is usually very quiet, calm and rather creative at that time. And that is the reason why they can have the talent to create such beautiful music and poems, reflecting on what you have heard. Reflect on what you have heard, taught to you or read to you. Listen with attentiveness and a calm mind. After that, reflect and contemplate with that calm mind, with very little or no thinking. Reflection is like inquiring and contemplation. Sorry, I read again. Reflection is like inquiring and contemplation, and its purpose is to stabilize what one understands. Note, assimilating the Dhamma is analogous to assimilating the food. That is like assimilating and absorbing the nutrient after chewing and eating the food. So this is how you can develop the understanding of contemplation. Okay, we finish. Then we go on to the next lesson. The next lesson is 29. I think there were a few Heart Sutra class where we don't have short notes. From 26 we go to 29, I remember. Because at that time I remember, and by then I said, most of the Dhamma that is being shared has been explained, so no need to have short notes. Then when it comes to lesson 29, we again have, because we share on the Surangama Sutta. Okay, now I will read on short notes from the Surangama Sutta. I explained here. There is no short note for last week's Heart Sutra class, so we will use the short note of the last Tuesday Surangama Sutta class. So instead of Sunday, we use the Tuesday class Surangama Sutra class short notes. The Surangama Sutra, or in Mahayana Mandarin is called Leng Yan Jing. It's important because without it, the Mara will create havoc. According to Master Hsuan Hua, this sutta will be the first sutta to disappear during the Dhamma ending age. If this sutta is around, the Mara will find it very difficult to delude the cultivators of the way. Because this sutta explains clearly the danger of the 50 Devas Samadhi, or in Mandarin is called Wu Si Ying Mo, that can trap the cultivator of the way if they deludedly grasp onto any of this mind state, which can be very fantastic meditative mind state that they will experience. The Surangama Sutta also explains how the living being comes into this world of existence via the 4 stages of manifestations originating from the source. The 4 stages of manifestation are clearly explained in the notes to be given out on the next Tuesday class. So this one is what I share with you all in the Heart Sutra also, later part, the 4 circle formation. So here is the explanation. What happened is in the Surangama Sutta is just words, understand? Words. And it's very difficult to understand, very difficult to penetrate, unless you have your cultivation. And for me, I was lucky because my past cultivation was there. Then when I read that sutta, I understood what it says. That's why I can break it down into the 4 circle formation to present it so that it can be taught. So, what is explained in the Surangama Sutta is, there is one part that I extracted it out. Now I read to you. See, this source that I extracted from, it never explained anything. It just come out with a lot of words, which I summarize it, then I present it. According to the Sutta, it says from the source comes the true mind, impure awareness before the knowing. So this one is summarized by me because hardly anybody understands that. How? From the source, the first thing to come out is the pure awareness nature, or we call it the true mind, impure awareness. Before the knowing, before the perception, before arising of the mundane thinking. Then according to the Sutta is mentioned, man because of basic ignorance, see, from avijja is done. Basic ignorance cause. Since time without beginning, by the first thought of ignorance, we screen the true mind, became subject to birth and death. This is how it all started. So basic ignorance cause. Initially it was just first thought of ignorance. That's why the Buddha used the word inconceivable. It's the beginning of the first thought of avijja or ignorance. That condition, birth and death until now. Unless you're a Sammasambuddha, you cannot conceive them. Then the Surangama Sutta explained, man, because of basic ignorance cause, since time without beginning, see, inconceivable, that's why time without beginning. By the first thought we screen the true mind, the pure awareness nature, mean the first stirring, became subject to birth and death, condition arising, cause of phenomena. Thus both permanent and impermanent unite to transform that true mind into alaya consciousness, or what we call storehouse consciousness. So when both permanent and impermanent unite to transform the true pure awareness nature into alaya consciousness, means the mundane mind, mundane thinking, which is the root of samsara. So this alaya consciousness or storehouse consciousness is the root of samsara. That's why the mind right, birth and death, or what we call that arise through the karmic cause. So this alaya consciousness has three characteristics. One is a karmic one, which is basic ignorance, resulting from self-evidencing, a changing and condition arising one, which turns fundamental wisdom into false perception, the root of the first 7 consciousness, and its expression in appearances or form, means external form. Because of basic ignorance, the spiritual bright and nirvanic absolute void was changed into dull and diluted emptiness. Hence Manjusri said, listen to this, thus in delusion there appear one-sided emptiness. Within this dull emptiness, ignorance gradually crystallizes and turn into illusionary form, make up of the 4 elements. The 4 elements, as you all know, the earth element, the wind element, the heat element, and the water element. So this illusionary form make out of the 4 elements, resulting in an imaginary world created within the void. When false perception confronted form, see, external form, a very small portion of this form was gradually grasped as being self-possessive and being supported by wrong perception. Mind and form unite and grasp at this dim little form as the ego, thereby creating the living being, make up of the five aggregates of form and mind. Hence, Manjushri continue. This one is beautiful. Steadying itself, the thinking process make the continent and the illusionary knower becomes a living being. This part you must understand. Through that long period of process, steadying itself, that thinking process created the continents, even the sun, all the massive elements within nature. Then the illusionary knower, because you think you are real, the egoic mind, illusionary knower become the living being. So you cling onto the five aggregate form of mind, thinking that you are real. You are a living being, traveler in space and time. Then we are delusion and ignorant. The living being, with the mundane or samsaric mind, which is your five aggregates of form and mind, the thought process, came to be via the karmic conditioning, and this was then grasped at. Hence the self-delusion and sakayaditi. This was the origin of a living being. Ever since then, this living being grasps at the condition arising five aggregates of form and mind as the ego, as the I and the me. So how then can he now recognize his boundless true mind or pure awareness nature before the stirring? That's how we lost ourselves. That's why from the first circle formation, the source, the first to come out is a pure awareness nature. The pure awareness is actually spacious awareness without a center. But because we cannot realize that, we become deluded and we stir and created the mundane mind, the mano. And that one is the one that loses its entity to return to his pure awareness nature, which is the oneness nature, where they lost in thought and grasp at the thought as if it's real, is what they are. So this is where all the delusion start. Ever since then, this living being grasps at the condition arising finally of form and mind as the ego, as the I and the me. So how then can he now realize his boundless true mind without a center, the oneness nature, before the stirring? That's what happened. That's why you lost. You forgot who you are. Then you keep on holding on to the five aggregates of form and mind through the samsaric movement, birth and death. Every segment you come, you are born, then you go through the existential phase, then you die. The birth and death continue. And that is what samsara is. Then comes the external phenomenal world, or the world of form or consciousness created by the mundane mind, where is condition arising, thoughts and consciousness. So our meditation is to develop the wisdom to understand all this, and then retrospectively to return the entire external phenomenal world back to consciousness within the mundane mind. Then silence and still the mundane mind to connect back to our true mind before returning to the source via the complete cessation of form and mind. That's how the four circle formation, when you understand how you fall and become what you are. So instead of getting trapped within the existential world that deludes and that last circle, I put the word entice and what? Alluring, yes. That entice and lure, deceive the living being. But that is where existence is, life is. And all these manifestations are unreal, impermanent, not what you think. But living beings cannot understand. They get entangled within. And they develop such desire, craving, emotion, will, power, to actually become. That's why that delusion, that avidya, that one really strengthened and created a lot of deluded activity that condition the living beings to grasp, cling and hold, and give rise to all the conflict, the war, the dualities, and all the so-called problem leading to the whole mass of suffering. That's why human consciousness deteriorates through avidya. Then to return, we need to develop the wisdom to see all this, how we fall, then how through the wisdom we develop the understanding to unwind. Means we return all this phenomenal world of consciousness created by the mundane thinking and the thought back to consciousness. Means the 5 aggregate of form and mind. And through wisdom, the mundane mind realizes itself and ceases. And before it ceases, you can actually allow that 5 aggregate of form and mind to return to its original state before the stirring, which is the second circle formation, to realize the true mind, the pure awareness nature. And then from there, you develop the awakening, so that this mundane mind that realizes itself and ceases will enable the realization of Nibbana to arise, which will trigger off the cessation of not only the form and mind, even the pure awareness. That one will cease too. And when that one ceases, the unconditioned will be revealed. And it will return to the source, which is the original nature, the true nature, the source of all things. So all this is how the teaching can help us understand the process of arising of the human being and the process of developing the meditative understanding to return, to realize all this, and to perfect ourselves so that we can have a nature to continuously do the job to save living beings. That's why the supreme vehicle of the Mahayana, Sammasambuddhahood, you cultivate it to perfection correctly, then it will lead to the realization of Sammasambuddhahood. And from there, it can manifest and help many, many living beings. And this is just the understanding of the whole process. That's why I say, even though it is unreal within the unconditioned, but within the condition, there is such thing as life and existence. There is such thing as the phenomenal world of consciousness. And there is such thing as once the cultivator of the way have realized true emptiness, then life, existence become wonderful, meaningful. That's what existence is all about. When you have the understanding, existence become wonderful, beautiful, meaningful. But without this Dhamma understanding and wisdom, one cannot develop the understanding of it. And one cannot liberate one's mind. Okay, I think we stop here. So remember to silence your mind, relax body and mind completely, then maintain awareness within. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Then just stabilize your inner awareness. Then for those who have the ability to stabilize the inner awareness, you can move on to the fourth support, which is trust. Trust your inner nature to develop the meditative transformation and movement. So what you do is, after your mind has stabilized the pure awareness nature, you stay at the heart area. Then completely silent. Don't try to do. Let that nature move by itself. It will detect, it will move. Whatever it detects, just let things be. It can be a vibration, or a heartbeat, or any movement. When it arises, stay with it. Then let it move by itself. It is already intelligent, active. It will know how to locate the gateway. Then that movement is without thought, without any interference from your memory, your views, your opinion, your mundane thinking and activity is completely silent. It's just aware. Then all the movement, activity, it will move by itself. But the pure awareness within can let you understand what is going on and all the transformation and the movement. You're just like a dead man witnessing all this activity and movement. Then later on, you will understand all this and become different. When you come out of it, your understanding deepens. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Then we shall continue your second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question that you may have regarding the Dhamma or the teaching or today's topic or anything that you want to share within the Dhamma field, Dhamma in daily life.
Yeah, I'm here.
Very
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes.
So happened today, the condition, right?
Sadhu, you log in,
Anyway, so I actually came home from badminton with my wife, then I saw the notification for
good timing.
take a quick shower and join in lah.
Sadhu,
long time to see you. How are you?
Very good.
Hope everybody is good.
Everything is good, yeah.
Yeah, good. So how to see you soon?
Can, yeah.
Yeah.
End of the month. Yeah.
Yes. Good.
25th,
Yes.
I think I'll be going down to Singapore on the 25th,
Yeah. Okay.
So I heard you volunteer to fetch us,
Yeah.
Sadhu, rejoice. Sadhu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I think so far my meditation, ever since I had my lumbar operation the last March, I slowed down quite a bit. I did not sit too long. So today
don't sit, lie down. Rest.
That's why. Today I try to do a lying down.
Lie down.
Lie down. And think recently I do experience what I call it moments of the mind flipping quite fast. So I begin to gain a little bit of awareness.
Very good.
Yeah, meaning to say that when I'm uptight, I know the moment after I quickly get out of it,
Yes.
So
when you know that you are lost in thought, thinking, then you become aware again. That very moment of attention is awareness. When you become aware that you have been thinking, That is attention, and that moment of attention is in awareness. You can maintain that, then it will stabilize.
So I think I do. Ever since we got news of you coming down, okay, I'm beginning to try to, put in more effort, and I think
very good.
I make a little progress. Not that much. I think I'm
Don't
still
worry.
very far behind being free.
Don't worry, don't worry.
But
Slowly you
yes,
will develop the understanding of what is more important is, Kongchai, relax. When you can relax, don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Just let your mind settle down on its own. Whatever thought activity that has not subsided, if you don't do anything, it will subside, it will slow down. Then you will experience a quiet moment. Initially, it's a quiet moment. Then suddenly, it becomes very quiet, tranquil. That is the beginning of true awareness. Means you have a glimpse of what the silent mind without thought is. And when you realize it for the first time, you feel very good. And the mind suddenly becomes so quiet until there is no thinking one. And it's a free mind without thought. You can realize that I sadhu you. But that is the beginning. And that one very easy to realize. You just relax and don't do anything and let the thinking continue to slow down until it completely stops. Then whatever happens, assume you are dead. You're just aware, but like you are a dead person. And then you realize your whole body and mind settle down very fast, and you feel very good. Then your lumbar, everything that you go through the operation on, it will slowly help you to stabilize the healing process, and you will recover.
I think the condition is all set right for me to follow you all the way. Because I think the rest of the meditation that they have gone through involve a longer period of sitting. And it is no good for my lumbar.
Correct.
So I'm very glad that I have able to connect to you, and you encourage lying down meditation. I think that
you can even sit on an armchair that is comfortable and just silent. Close your eye, relax, and maintain awareness, and just let things be. Then the meditative mind will slowly surface. Initially, it's like all your unfinished thinking, the thought process, the sankhara activity. It will go on. Let it go on. Don't worry. Don't dislike that heedless thinking or that thought activity. Just let it be, because the natural state of mind before the stirring is your true mind. But after you stir due to causes and conditions, which is mainly because of the mental hindrance and the heedless thinking, then this habitual thinking will continue. But when it continues without resistance, then it will slow down, because it needs thought activity and energy to sustain the thinking. So if you don't do anything, just let things be, all the thinking will slow down. It's like the momentum of a moving part, slow down. You don't accelerate the petrol and cause the wheel to continue to move, then it will slow down on its own until the wheel stops by itself.
Good. All right, very good.
That is a very good example, and you can try it. Don't do anything. The thinking will slow down. Initially, maybe it take a few minutes, but be patient. Then when it happens, you will feel very confident, and you will feel that you have developed the understanding. It's like swimming, you remember? You know that your natural state of physical body, buoyancy, lighter than water. Then you confidently let go of the body. Don't try to struggle to float. Then the body will sink down. Then the upthrust will push it up. That upthrust that push it up will give you the confidence. Then you realize, hey, what people have been telling you is true. My body is lighter than water. So similarly, the mind, the true mind is already the meditative state. So actually, when you understand that, then you don't need to do anything to return to that true mind. It's just like buoyancy. You let the body sink down first, then let the upthrust move it up. Then in the case of meditation, you let the thinking slow down until the thinking stop. When the thinking stop, without thought, you are already with the pure awareness nature. That's why you're naturally aware. And that is the silent mind, the meditative mind. And you feel very good when you realize. And then after that, very easy to meditate. Anywhere you can meditate, you can just relax, silent. Then with the awareness inside, your body rests. Then your awareness develops. When your awareness develops, your whole body energy movement all different. Where there is no more resistance from the thought interfering. Then without the thought interfering, that true mind is your pure mind with the pure energy inside. And that one has its healing power. And that one has the power of awareness to allow you to see things as they are, to insight into phenomena, and to awaken, and to understand a lot of things. Then that silent mind, pure awareness nature will observe. Then it will understand what is going on. Then how you become emotional or agitated or what, you will understand. Because the awareness will know. Before you become agitated or angry or emotional or fearful, there was none. But it arises after you see something or hear something or recall something. It's through your senses that wrong thoughts stir and create that emotion, that movement. Understand all this. You can understand all this by not doing anything. Just stay with the pure awareness nature. And the awareness will develop the understanding by itself. It will detect by itself. Okay?
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sadhu. You give it a try,
Hi, Radio.
Yeah.
Brother Kong Chai.
Yes.
Thank you for nominating me.
Sadhu, yeah.
Brother Teo, maybe I just share something.
Can.
Meditation experience.
Good. That would be good, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was last week. I sat down. Actually, nowadays, I feel more compelled to sit down and meditate.
No problem. You can go back to sitting, no problem. Whatever that suits you, yeah.
I mean, as in doing meditation, formal meditation. Last time, the interest wasn't there, lah. But now
okay, good. That's good.
There's some interest there that
very good.
I would want to do it more often.
Yeah. That is a very good sign. Yeah. Sadhu to you. Yeah.
So I think there was, one morning, don't know which day, I felt after sitting for a while, I feel some warm starting from my the heart area there. And
Sadhu.
Then it slowly, it wasn't like feeling uneasy.
I know.
It was, it feel okay lah, you know.
Yeah,
it
quite soothing one.
Yes, soothing. Then it spread, slowly spread all up to my shoulder.
Sadhu.
And then I think the shoulder, the whole of the chest lah.
Very good.
To the neck, and then that's it lah. Then after that, I got up because I need to do something.
No problem. You maintain the cultivation. It will help you a lot because that is the beginning of stability. When the awareness and the anapanasati or the mindfulness that you do stabilize, this movement will happen. And that thing that you mentioned about you suddenly develop the interest to sit means your nature know it's time to sit. time to do this, to stabilize your meditative state. And when you do it, you will actually progress fast, because that last report that you do when you came back from the office, when you talk to your mother asks you to go and rest, then you decide to go there, you suddenly experience that state, that silence, that moment. That one is very, very important. Well, that is the sign that you are ready to move into this type of meditation. Then it will allow you to experience that state, the silent mind. Like you went in completely quiet and still, never before. And you can experience it within the moment. Means the condition is such, is for you to see it, to understand it. And then after that, you find that you will develop the interest to meditate and to cultivate further, which is very good. Sadhu. Then after that, you came out. Then what you do?
I just went doing my daily work.
Good. Then maintain daily mindfulness. Maintain daily mindfulness. Determine to be aware of all action, all movement in the present moment. That will help you.
Okay, thank you, Radio.
Sadhu. Yes.
Good afternoon, Radio.
Yeah, afternoon.
Sister and all communities.
Yeah.
I actually don't have any questions to ask.
Oh, then don't worry. You just want to describe how you do your meditation. You just have to describe exactly as how you do it. Then I can maybe guide you along.
Okay.
Are you able to relax, maintain awareness, and develop the meditative mind?
Yes. So far,
good.
Usually when I do the light meditation, I always can feel my all my fingers
the vibration pulsating. Very good. That is the beginning, which is good.
But I no longer feel my heart beating.
Oh, don't worry, because this one will come back to you. Once you can feel the tingling sensation or the pulsation of your other part of your body, you just silence your mind completely and stay there. Then it will stabilize. Then it will become more sensitive. Then later on, when you move to your heart area, you realize your heartbeat like come back to you. It's not your heartbeat actually come back to you. It's your mindfulness has stabilized. Once your mindfulness stabilizes, then it will become different. It can detect whatever that move or vibrate. So it can be your heartbeat or any other movement within your physical body. So it's just like your sensation or pulsation at your palm area or whatever. That one is actually your awareness. Without awareness, you cannot detect it. And normal people also cannot detect one. But once you silence your mind completely and you develop the practice or the cultivation of awareness-based meditation, you just relax. And like I advise Gong Chai, don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Allow the mind to settle down and maintain awareness there. Then after a while, let the mind like settle down until no thought. Then after that, when you are able to reach a state where the thought suddenly ceases, or you feel like very much less ready, then you continue to relax into it and let things be until you feel very quiet, very peaceful. And then when you go into that state, means the mind is trying to enter sati and develop the natural awareness, the pure awareness within on its own. Then your mindfulness will become more refined and more sensitive. Then it can detect back the heartbeat on. Don't worry, it will come back to you. Then you will like to meditate. But after that, it's very easy to quiet down your mind. You just relax. Then let the thinking slow down, slow down, slow down until it stops. Awareness-based meditation, you know how to do it. Actually, it's very easy. You just have to relax. Then maintain awareness. Means don't try to do anything. No. Means maintain the mind that is aware. Whatever thought arises, let it pass. Aware, finish. Aware, silent. Go back to the silent. Then just let things be. Then everything will slow down until there is no more movement. Because the activity of mind comes from your thought energy that you, living being without understanding, continue to give it that thought energy through your craving, through your mental hindrance, through your mental reaction and stirring. Well, you don't know what this thing is. So that becomes habitual. When it becomes habitual, you continue to think on, non-stop thinking on. And the mundane mind cannot slow down. Yeah, you continue.
I experienced that during when I do my bowing.
Very good. So you continue your bowing also, your daily religious routine. Then when you meditate, formal meditation, you just silent everything, lie down, like you go to rest, like you go to sleep. But without falling into the unconscious, you try to maintain awareness. If it's no, first sound, okay, no problem. If your body is very tired, then you want to sleep, you sleep. Then after that, the moment you become conscious again, you wake up, you maintain awareness. No problem. Just now, my nephew here also, he was so tired, he snored very loud, but no problem. After that, when he have enough rest, then he become conscious again, then quiet already. So it's okay. But this is the beginning, understand? There is nothing shy about snoring, because snoring is a common thing. Almost every living being snore. To what extent depend.
Then just now, brother, you told to this brother Tan, said when you realize the thought came in, and when you don't give any more energy, you will like stop cease. I experienced that also.
Very good. When you experience that means you know how to meditate already. Don't do anything, like swimming. Just relax and let the body float up. Because the natural state of the body is buoyancy. So your true mind is also same. The natural state is before the stirring and the thinking is your true mind, your silent mind, your meditative mind, your pure awareness nature. So allow the thinking to slow down and stop. Then you will experience the true mind. To tell you the truth, like I say, the true mind is the primordial mind. Means originally it was there. Then the reason why normal people cannot experience it, where they go and think. The thinking created the distraction. So they are lost in thought. When you are lost in thought, preoccupy your thinking and your reaction to sense experience and the stirring of the mind and the emotion, you use up a lot of energy through the thought process. That's why your life force that comes, instead of help you to develop the meditative understanding through your nature's movement, you actually lose it in the thought process. That's why people who think a lot, who worry, develop the fear, a lot of energy is being drained away. And this energy are your fear energy, your emotion, your what they call stress. All this take up energy, and it will drain your life force energy. And because of that, you become inefficient. And you become tired very fast. You don't know how to recuperate. You don't know how to rest. Because you don't know how to meditate. When you know how to meditate, you know how to rest, The silent mind will heal you, but this is your life force, pure energy. Your two minds, pure energy, which is very, very beautiful. Where that one is positive, healing energy, or what we call soothing emotion, or very soothing, very tranquil stillness. No emotion, nothing. Not like fear, worry, anxiety, very negative one, the energy. This one is like peace, tranquility, stillness. Then sometimes there is joy. It's very soothing. You feel very good, very nice. And you know how to make use of this to relax. You recuperate very fast. You recover very fast. That's why the benefit of meditation is very, very important. So when you develop the meditative mind, it not only makes your mind quiet, peaceful, there is tranquility, there is clarity. And when your mind has this clarity and tranquility and stillness, it can see things very clearly. Then you know what is going on. Then you are not confused. They are not muddled up. There is no like heedless thinking, lost in thought, restlessness, fear, worry, anxiety. All this is gone. That's why the meditative mind can bring about inner peace, inner calmness, and inner well-being. Then you can make use of this mind to radiate love and metta. Once you radiate love, you wish all beings, may they be well and happy. You feel the well-being and happiness inside. The energy very pure one, and you will really radiate out the metta energy. Then may they all too be without enmity, without ill will, and untroubled. And may they keep themselves happy and peaceful always. Then may there be love, feel it. May there be peace. May there be joy deep within my heart. Then you will feel it, that well-being, the peacefulness, the tranquility and the stillness, and the peace within. Then you can radiate this outward to all beings, to your loved ones, to whoever you want to help. So all this will create all the benefits of meditation. The inner peace, inner calmness, inner awareness, and stability of mind. Means no more emotion, no more negative psychological emotion, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, all no more. Yeah. It can only arise when the mind is not in the meditative state, when the mind is lost in thought, when the mind is fearful due to your thought telling you. When you try to recall your unhappy past, could be your phobia or whatever, that trigger of fear. Then when you recall a childhood experience or a type of phobia that you have accumulated through your life experience, once you recall, or there is a condition that trigger of the memory, then you realize that memory of phobia trigger of the fear, and sometimes it can trigger of intense fear, and human being can have panic attack, they call. Then fear, worry, anxiety is very common. Then doubt, insecurity, phobia, all these are very negative mind state, and it can be very traumatic when you don't understand the first noble truth, reality and teaching. Okay, Chan, can follow?
Can follow, can understand.
Very good.
I've got another one more question. Now I've been reading a lot of these Dhamma books.
Good. That will help you.
Cannot remember what was read previously.
Don't remember. Just let it be.
Sometimes find like, why sometimes say no memory is good. Sometimes
okay. Your question
no
is why no memory is good, huh? Okay,
or
okay.
maybe am I really like becoming forgetful?
No, don't worry.
Memory
Not
bad
that
in
type of
this.
thing. Not that type of thing. And that one won't happen so fast on. You see, if you want to develop the correct way of cultivation and understanding, if you go by reading to try to develop the understanding through contemplation and reflection, then what you should do is, like some Kayamita that actually came to me with the same question, then what I advise them is like when you study in your school, when you go to the class, if it's a new topic like science subject or sometimes mathematical subject or a new field which you haven't learned or haven't heard before, then you find it very difficult to grasp the concept and the understanding behind what is being taught to you because it's so new. So what you do is you go back and read through the textbook or discuss with your classmate or something. Then in between, you will develop clearer understanding. Then after that, you reflect on it, you contemplate on it, then you try to make sense out of it. And by doing that, you stabilize the understanding. Then you realize even after you have studied, contemplate, reflect, and thought you have developed more understanding, then they will give you some exercise like past year question or what to do. Then when you think you can do by referring to the textbook or your notes, then you think you have the understanding. But not yet. You don't believe me? Once you ask them to close the textbook and try to use their own understanding without referring to any notes or textbook to like come up with the answer or develop the understanding of that topic, they realize they cannot. Because there is true memory work. When you try to do memory, especially mathematics, formulas, or you remember, then you apply the formula and you get the right answer. That is not understanding. Understanding is when you close the textbook without the formula, without retrieving from memory, through first principle, you can derive the formula. Through the definition, you can derive the formula. Then what I normally advise cultivator is like you study. Last time I study also, I said, after I read, I contemplate, I reflect, then I think I know already, then I close the textbook. Then what I will do is I start from basic. Means I assume I don't know anything and I start to derive the formula or I start to make notes and write down to understand clearly, to stabilize my understanding. Then when you can write down the thing without looking at the textbook, even the definition, means the understanding starts to stabilize already. Then when the understanding starts to stabilize already, then you realize after a while, that understanding transforms into wisdom. Then you don't have to remember the formula anymore. From first principle, you will know how to derive the formula. And you will know how to actually attend to the question. And the topic become like clear to you, easy to understand. So what you should do is make some notes. Every time you listen or hear or read, then you close the textbook. Then try to write down the gist of it, like the essential Dhamma. The mind map is a very good thing. You learn from the mind map that Sister Sui developed in the website. That mind map now has been improved, I was told, very easy to expand and reduce. From there, you develop the understanding, because the notes are all there. Then as long as you can link all this, means you have to understand. If you cannot link, it's still section by section, like Dhamma, not real understand. But once you can link, then you realize it's one teaching, one full teaching. Then your this memory thing one will not happen so fast. Because nowadays you read too many of these books, you cannot link and you cannot understand. Because different book write different things. But if you study the Heart Sutra book, it's very systematic. Then you realize it's all connected, it's all linked. Then if you mark on the book also can, actually. Or close the book and try to write it out to develop the understanding yourself. You give it a try. Then you will realize the progress. Because without giving this a try, you don't know where you stand. So it's not about after you meditate already, you develop, then your memory becomes less. No. It's about having the understanding that all the knowledge that you acquire from the reading of the Dhamma or the listening, if it's not stabilize and become a part of you, is still knowledge. Means it is still Dhamma knowledge in the form of memory. Why? I give you an example. Like if I were to ask you, what are the 5 aggregates of form and mind? No need to go into the 2 aspects first. And most people, they have to go to memory to retrieve it. But if you have developed the stability of understanding, you don't have to go to memory, because you understand it there and then. 5 aggregates of form and mind is, like I always share with you, as a human being, we have a physical body and we have a mind. So the physical body is one aggregate, rupa. Then the mind, you just have to understand what can your mind do. Then the aggregate of mind will come out. That's why I don't have to remember feeling, perception, sankhara, and consciousness, vijnana. Because your mind can do all these 4 things. It can feel hot or cold, pleasant and unpleasant. So all these are the ability of the mind to feel. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. Nice feeling, painful feeling. Then it can also perceive. Then it can create mental activity, mental state, sankhara activity. It can think and it can do all those movements. But you see it in the mind. Don't have to remember. Then lastly, our mind can become conscious. Conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactily feel and think. Where we are a conscious being. We have a consciousness trapped inside with the sense bases. So upon contact, consciousness can arise. Then when you input the content of consciousness, the thought arises. So all this, no need to remember. It will manifest from your understanding. But if you don't have that stability and the understanding, then every time you have to retreat to memory. You can check for yourself or even other people. Like the Paticca Samuppada, Avijja Paccaya Sankhara. Most people try to remember that one. No? Because they don't have the understanding. Then when you remember, it's knowledge. It's not stable. Then when you long time don't read or don't like go through the topic or as a revision, then you forget one. No? But the one that has cultivated it correctly and stabilize and become a part of them, they don't need to revise on. They don't need to like have notes and all those things on. No need on, because it's inside their nature already. Like playing badminton, you play badminton or not?
Badminton.
Got or not?
Last time used to play.
Last time. You play until you're skillful or not?
Yes.
Oh, very good. If you're skillful already, you know, means you can decide where you want to send the shuttlecock. And your stroke is very graceful and is very more or less accurate. When you can do that already, if you hang up your racket, even for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months or 6 months, the stroke is always with you. Although when you come back, You have to train your stamina and all those things. But your stroke is always there. That stroke means the skill is always with you. Means you have stabilized the skill of badminton. Means you know the theory behind, and you know how to actually retrieve the shuttlecock to the place or location you want it to go. And you can decide whether to serve low or serve high, or to lob, or to smash, or to drop shot, or whatever. But all this, you have developed the stability of it, and your skill is already developed. Then your refinement of the badminton movement and stroke, you don't need to remember one, because you have make it a part of you. Then whenever you hold the racket, you will know how to swing. Your backhand, everything, it will come back to you. That is the stability. Means, like mindfulness, you develop until it's so stable, it's always with you. All the time, and most of the time, because you know what this thing is. So Dhamma cultivation is the same. So you give it a try. Try to write down as notes for your own understanding. No need to refer to anything. Then you find that you cannot write it down. Then you want to refer to the text or the mind map. Go and do it. Then try to reflect, contemplate again, and stabilize the understanding again. Then after that, close the book again. Then try to write it out, the whatever understanding or definition. If you can do it without referring to anything, means it has started to stabilize already. It has started to develop the understanding already, the assimilation of the stability or understanding already. And then from there onward, you realize the understanding will make you like understand a lot of things. Then you will not face the thing like what you described, which you heard from people. After they read, they cannot remember anything. No, not like that one. It's like, what is happening is, it's like when you develop the stability of this cultivation, you don't need memory to remember already. Then there is a transformation at the brain area. The brain area. And that one won't happen so fast. You have to progress until quite far. Normally, by then, if it can happen, means you beyond the sainthood way already. If you are not beyond the sainthood way, this thing won't happen. The memory loss won't happen. It's not to say memory loss. It's your brain has developed the understanding and the, what they call wisdom energy. It transforms the brain until it's like non-grasping. It cannot hold on to things. It cannot grasp onto things. Then you realize your mind behaves differently. It will develop the pure awareness energy to actually transform the brain. And the brain take a long time to transform. Not so fast. In fact, even the mundane mind take a long time to develop the clarity and understanding. So you don't have to worry about what people share with you at the retreat or even during our session. It's because these people has gone beyond and developed those stages of understanding that now they have this memory that has been altered or transformed to live life. Then that time, don't worry, because it cannot remember. Cannot remember doesn't mean you don't know. It cannot remember means there is no condition for it to arise. Let's say sometimes I ask you all after I share, why did I come to this path? But the moment you tell me why, then I will recall. I don't keep all this as memory anymore. And my memory is free, completely free. My whole mind is, I don't need to hold on to anything. If there is anything that I need to remember, I write down on a piece of paper as note, like things that I have to do, like my schedule or whatever, so that I don't have to remember them. Understand? Otherwise, the sankhara, you can feel the suffering and the fine suffering and the that energy that is needed to move the aggregates of mind actually is suffering. You can have the sensitivity or awareness to see it. But for me, I passed through that phase long ago. That's why now I am back to normal. Although I don't have the mundane mind, but my supra-mundane mind, I have learned how to use it and develop it until I back to normal. Although I am in that state, like without the mundane mind and the mind very fine, of course my memory also has been altered and transformed, where it's non-grasping. It doesn't hold on to anything anymore. Then like split second, this moment I share something with you, I cannot remember because the next moment is gone already. Unless there is condition for me to remember. Yeah. Otherwise, that thing is already completely gone. Yeah. So all this, it will not happen so fast to normal cultivator of the way. Normal cultivator of the way cannot have this type of experience. So you don't worry. What happened to you is, I think you have not stabilized your understanding of the essential Dhamma. So you learn how to stabilize it. Yeah. In fact, earlier on your theory was not bad, but I think your problem is when you read other book, you cannot reconcile or cannot connect. Then like you don't know, like you cannot remember. It's not you cannot remember, because this thing you haven't stabilized and it's not systematic yet. But once you stabilize and systematic, like you can connect all the Dhamma and you understand everything. But that phase is just a phase where you progress. But the real transformation will come after that. And after that, when the condition is ready, you suddenly will develop the realization, the insight, the understanding, the awakening. Then when that cessation happens, even a glimpse, your understanding will arise. Then you will transform. Then after you transform, you feel very good. Like all the Dhamma, like now you understand. Like you become very good. People ask you anything also, you can link, you can explain, you can actually connect them and develop the discussion. Oh, Alicia want to share. Okay, let Alicia share. Sorry, I didn't see the note. Alicia, 来，进来。
Good evening, Brother Dio, Mrs. Dio, and Kalamita.
Yeah.
Brother Dio, 你所讲的我都经历。因为我的 understanding 是 whatever happen 我们就凭着一个 faith just go through it。
对。
不要起任何的 doubt 就是
对，是的。
所以就好像比方说没有 memory 这一 part， 其实在前一阵子我在做工的时候，我连银行 password 我都想不起来。
对。
对，因为它是一个很自然的，它就是来你根本不想用你的 memory， 你也是
very good，
actually 你想不出来的，你 try
想不出来的it will not come out unless you go and refer to your notebook or somewhere you record them. They say, Sui, they all know I got one book, big one, where all my password, everything. I cannot remember.
Yeah,
I don't have to remember.
但是你等了你静下来它的东西又 pop up
就 pop up
对。
then 你时常用的，它就会 remain there
Yeah, actually, Brother, 我有一阵子，我去到巴萨，我根本不懂得怎样买菜 ，you know？
对
memory
it's like you suddenly reach the market there, then you don't know what is going on. It take a while for you to recall to whatever memory and understanding. Well, you have reached a stage where the brain has become like that, but no problem. Because this is part and parcel of the cultivation, part of the way, and it will manifest
Yeah.
很好。
After that, 过了一阵子，它就 like you back to normal.
It will make you
Yeah.
return back to normalcy. Then when you become normal again, you feel very good. You have a lot of joy. It's just like Pocheng now also going through that phase that he attended the course and he realized his brain or having those problems. Then he can feel the suffering and all those things. So all these are normal and it is part of the way, part of cultivation. That's why that day I explain it so that people don't develop the wrong understanding, the unnecessary worry or fear about what will happen. Then they may have the wrong thought and understanding to think that, meditate already become like that. They don't. It's not what people think. It's actually a good thing. You can go through that. You will experience very beautiful transformation. It will make you very different. And you will have a lot of joy, a lot of understanding inside there. That's what wonderful existence is all about when you have the Dhamma. Oh, very good, Alicia.
Yeah, 因为就你要 go through 这一切，让你知道，其实当你什么都没有的时候，其实你的心很大了，心包太虚，这样很大。
对，
所以 Brother 其实怎么说呢？有时候他连那个Dharma都不能 arise。
Yeah. There is no condition, it cannot come out. It cannot come. Because you see a learner cannot receive the Dhamma. Even I want to talk to them, it cannot come out. Somehow, very clear sign that this person don't have affinity. Cannot. You can't even really talk about it or bring out the topic on. It cannot flow on. So all this you will experience as a cultivator when you go through. But certain people with affinity, the moment they meet, the moment they talk to you, then you talk to them, then a lot of things will flow. There's some who have the past cultivation, they receive very fast. The moment they talk to me, they develop the understanding very fast and they appreciate and they know this person is different. So all this is what cultivation is all about. It's not written in the book. Very good, Alicia.
其实他就没有说怎样讲，就是你如果明白，就说怎么样的去走，其实就是他不是一个很怎样讲，又不是很direct，又不是怎么样说呢？就是很 wonderful 咯，对我来说。
very wonderful， 很奥妙，
很奥妙，好像比方说这一切啦，好像刚才讲 Brother 讲的，你 try to memorize 那个 Patija Samubpada， 早期我也是在做这个东西，记不起来，但是当我有一天明白了之后他就是直接就写得出来，那个
对，字写得出来的，而且不用去 refer to anything on any notes or textbook。
对，它就是可以 link， 好像比方说我读大智度论里面某一个东西，它就好像哇，这个可以 link 这个可以，就很不一样，所以不要去 remember， 还是去想，因为有一阵子我连想东西我都很苦很痛。
对 ，the fine suffering， 你会感觉得到
所以是我想给 Brother Chan 一个就是说一个 sharing， 说我们每个人都要经历这一切的。
对。
里面还有另外一个，我想跟 Brother KC 讲，再讲，就是我的 meditation 以前我从来没有 sitting 的，因为我根本也 sit 不了。后来我就每天在lying down meditation， 我甚至于在 lying down 的时候，我去 visualize， 如果这个是我的最后一个。就是说我的 life
moment，
我的 life ending 的话，我要怎样的去面对？
对，解脱，
就来所以它就是一个 一个怎样讲，就是 bring you up into like 你去理解到生命，所谓的生命啊，
对，是的，
所以你要经历这一切，你要把所谓的这个 faith 建立起来，所以因为这个既然我们有三宝的庇佑，就是说来，我们就把这个 faith 全部 develop 在这里，然后交给三宝来去扶持我们，还有佛菩萨的加持。我相信没有佛菩萨的加持，我们也做不到了，不然就还
对 ，That's why must have affinity triple gem。
是，所以
佛菩萨，
对，所以我所要分享的就是这一个，因为每一个好像卡拉米达，就是走着走着肯定会，但是如果我们有这个faith，想到是凡所有的一切都是冥冥中都有注定的，就是说已经注定是这样的，我们只要 diligently 去走，diligently 去做
，diligently 去做，
后面的东西我们就全部不要知道，就这样。
他自己会 unfold 的，
对，所以我最近也很忙，因为那个屋子的差不多要完
哦，杀掉。
但是就冥冥中我就跟PG 讲，因为 PG 也帮我很多，然后we almost there already, PG we almost there 但是冥冥中那个 almost there 就是最多问题的。对。所以所谓的问题我也不会 perceive， 真的不然就他很冷静的去处理，凡所有的每一个东西我就是去处理，然后我不会起烦恼。
Very good，
我 find very very rewarding 在
rewarding amazingly rewarding。而且
那天我不见了一样东西，我在找突然间发觉到。为什么我的屋子这么小了的？You know, means the I don't know somehow 我 feel 到我的屋子这样小，就是我所要找的空间既然这么小，
对，
你知道每一样东西你放在哪里你忽然间我看我的屋子，怎么每一个地方都这么小了？因为I mean就是你知道你的东西，你很清楚的记得每一样东西在哪里。感觉上它就很小了。
对。
Brother Dio， 这个是我最近的一点点的 encounter，
所以
当所有感恩米大的
对，很好，
对 Brother Dio，
let us rejoice。
感恩 Brother Dio，
萨丢，好 ，Thank you。Okay， Chan， you can summarize。
Yes。
Hopefully all this sharing help,
Yes, it helped me very much. Because my problem that time is when I try to remember all those like the 5 mental hindrance. After I memorize it, then the next few days I want to contemplate and reflect, and I cannot remember it.
Because you not stabilized yet, your understanding not stabilized, so you try to use memory. So don't worry, you have to write it down, then go through it one by one. What is sensual desire? What is ill will? Then when you understand, it will come to you and you don't have to remember anything. Then later on when you understand, you close the book and the notes, then have a white piece of paper, then you will be able to write it down. Initially maybe you struggle a bit, but after you have the understanding already, then the mental hindrance become very clear to you. Then you know that these are the mind state that hinders your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness and inner awareness. And it's very clear, especially sloth and torpor and this restlessness of mind. When you are restless, means you have fear, worry, anxiety. How can you meditate? How can your mind be peaceful? When there is doubt also same. Then sensual desire and ill will, you need to contemplate a bit. Because when there is craving, desire, positive or negative, is a mental hindrance. Or why? Because when you have positive craving, means sensual desire, When you have craving for something, your mind is lost in that thought to crave for that thing. Means it's holding on to that thing, desiring that thing, or trying to push it away. And when you do that, how can you have a free mind that is without thought to be with the moment, to be at peace? That's why it's a mental hindrance. When the mind has craving, it's a hindrance. When the mind just let things be without craving, then it becomes its true mind again. It returns to its natural state, where it doesn't want anything. No sensual desire, no ill will, no stop and topper, no fear, no restlessness, and no worry. That's why your mind go back to normalcy. Then you develop the faith, sada. Your mind become composed, peaceful, calm. And that's how you overcome the mental hindrance. Then you develop the virya, like Alicia said, just do, persevere, strive on. The virya is a spiritual zeal or energy to drive you to cultivate this mindfulness, this awareness, this teaching. Then after that, you will develop sati. Sati is very easy. When you relax, maintain awareness, without thought, you are already in sati. That's how you become peaceful, quiet, tranquil. So all this, no need to later on remember, because it will stabilize and become your understanding. Then you can write it out. When you can write it out means you develop some form of stability already. And that is a good sign. So don't worry, take your time, slowly stabilize your understanding.
I follow your advice, your method just now.
Yeah. Sadhu, luckily you asked.
Sadhu.
Okay, let us now do the sharing of merit, transfer of merit, then we end. Akasata Chabumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Cirang Rakantu Loka Sasana Itta Wata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhiya Idang Menya Tinang Hotu Sukita Hontu Nyatayo Idang menya tinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Devo asatukalina sasa sampati hetu cha hito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko. Imina punyang kamina Mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect to Lord Buddha, Kuan Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.